Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. Today we're going to unbox this. This has just arrived from the folks at Chaosium, and what I believe is in here is the fruits of the Call of Cthulhu Classic Kickstarter that was run sometime last year. I think this has fallen to some extent afoul of the global logistics issues, which are bigger than all of us. But it is finally here, and we are going to take a look at it today. And let's make sure that these guys box like there's no tomorrow. So I expect that even though the box is maybe a little bit dinged from transit, I expect no problems. And in fact, there are no problems. There is an entire second box inside the box. So let's be maybe a little more careful with box number 2, inside box. Everything I've ever gotten from Chaosium in recent years has through the mail has been double boxed like this. So to say the least, there have been 0 issues with product damage. So they're doing a very nice job. So we have 2 items in here. Now I have ordered the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society prop kit as well, but that has not shown up yet. I have no idea when that is going to show up. So here we have, what jumps out at me instantly is the registration problem on the cover. I'm not sure if you can see it on screen or not, but you can see that the panel's just a hair off center, and that annoys me. It's not a world-ending catastrophe by any means, and it's fine on the small box too. So what I got was there was a Kickstarter level for this, but I didn't get in on it. I bought this as an add-on. There's the 2-inch boxed set and the 1-inch boxed set. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I got the 2-inch coming with all the supplements. You'll see it all when we unbox it. But the one I had when I was a kid was this one, right? Not the 2-inch box. And what this is Call of Cthulhu 2nd Edition. And there is even a little sticker on here. Winner, Best Role-Playing Game, H.G. Wells Award, Strategist Club Award, Game Designers Guild Select Awards. And of course, Call of Cthulhu is an all-time classic RPG. It's really, I don't want to say one of its kind, because its kind has had many imitators over the years, but it is a seminal RPG with enormous influence and impact, and it is still one of the most popular games in the world today for RPG, tabletop RPGs. So let's take a look. I guess first of all, we'll take a look at the small box. And I mean, this is like the Chaosium. Their boxes were a little taller than everybody else's boxes, and this matches that. I don't have another example of that, an original Chaosium box to measure it against. I only have new ones, but it looks like it does match that. So let's open her up and see what it looks like inside. All right, so we have a box cover feels sort of like it's got a coating on it of some kind. I really like the feel of this. It's similar to what their print-on-demand stuff has. So we get the what's in the box and explanation of the parts. So we're not going to read this, but it does have a little bit of product history, the rule book, the source book for the 1920s, the world map, the Arkham map, special 40th anniversary set of 9 dice. We'll look at those in a second. Size, comparison charts, character sheets, character silhouettes, keeper screen. And if I didn't say it already, this is the 2nd edition of Call of Cthulhu. The 1st edition and 2nd edition are, as was the case with like RuneQuest, they were very similar. So let's take a look at the dice. So there was an add-on, it wasn't an add-on, but a Kickstarter stretch goal to give you 2 additional D6s. And normally I'm not real crazy about the dice that come with the games, right? Because they're normally just like generic dice. These at least are color appropriate to Call of Cthulhu. I think they do look very nice. And I may in fact end up using these. Of course, I'll have a double set here too, because I got the big box as well. I'll set those aside for now. We have character sheets. Looks like we have a whole stack of character sheets, and these are just individually printed. We have the Call of Cthulhu Classic Edition. Now, it says Classic Edition, right? It's not a straight 100% reprint. There's all kinds of small little acknowledgments that this is a Classic Edition. We'll see it when we see the acknowledgments and dedication. 40th Anniversary Edition. I don't know if this is the 40th Anniversary Edition or not. It might be. 1981, which will tell you when the Kickstarter happened. in 2021. So the cover, again, feels like it's got a nice coating on it. There is a table of contents, which looks great on the back. 96-page rule book. It's going to be black and white because that's the way we did things back in the day. Paper quality feels good. Feels nice and thick. Make sure I'm not fondling 2 pages there. Feels really good. I would imagine that they printed some extras of these products and that they're going to be made available to people who didn't back the Kickstarter. But this was, Call of Cthulhu is one of my sort of core RPGs. So I did back the Kickstarter for this. Source book for the 1920s. Now, another thing, I could be misremembering this, but I could swear this book just had a paper cover, like that paper cover originally, and this does not. This has a real cover. These, of course, are staple bound. The book here is 36 pages, and this is a treasure trove of source book for the 1920s. If you're running any RPG in the 1920s, if it's not Call of Cthulhu, I'd ask why, but whatever you want to run in the 1920s, this is a great source for that. It's got the calendar, it's got, crime and arrest. Of course, it's U.S. centric for the most part, but you do get some international stuff as well. Nice rendition of that. We have the world map. Now, I remember this keenly from the original set as well. And it is a full-sized poster map. We'll give you a look at it, and there's something on the back, too. Okay. This copy of this is probably going to sit on the shelf. The other copy will be the play copy if I decide to use second edition, which I might not. This is a one-color map. It's not black and white because it's like a purple or maroon type of tone, but it looks really good. I don't recall there being this many tentacles on the map as from when I was a kid, but I haven't looked at this thing in 40 years. Maybe not 40, but it's been a long time. All right, so we have these size compare. Ooh, look at that. I think this might have been a stretch goal as well. So we have these cardboard cutouts. The idea was that you were going to cut them out, stand them up, fold them on the dotted lines, and then tape them to a coin. And it even says that tape each figure to a penny or button for stability. I think it's easy enough to get those little figure clips now. I don't know if this is the original art. Without a direct comparison, I actually think this one was the stretch goal, and this was the original. And this does look like the original art to me. Yeah, it does. Now again, it's been a long time. I could be wrong. It could be a close replica for all I know. So that's cool. We've got another bigger size comparisons thing, and I forgot to show you the back of the map too. Which is, the even bigger monsters like Cthulhu himself, or the Star Spawn of Cthulhu, or Nyarlathotep, or, all kinds of other stuff. This is single-sided. On the back of the big map is the map. It's a little hard to grab here. On the back of the big map is the map of either Arkham or Miskatonic University. Yeah, this is the map of Arkham. And you'll notice that, the little in-joke of Chaosium, there's an Apple Lane here in Arkham as well. There's always an Apple Lane place. But then the numbered buildings, which are over here, are the campus of Miskatonic University, and there's a rail line running through town. If you want to, put this down on your tabletop, if you're running a game that is in Arkham at the moment, that would be suitable for that. I'd put it under plexiglass because I happen to have plenty of plexiglass. Longtime viewers will know why. And then you can mark on it with dry erase markers or whatever. Now, this is the Keeper's Screen. And I do think it's attractive and it's full color. And it's probably a fairly close replica of what you could buy. This was not in the original box set, I can tell you that. But this is probably a pretty close replica of what you did get if you bought a Call of Cthulhu Game Master screen of this era, although I'm not sure that this would be the back of it. But it is on a very, very thin stock. Feels like this is pretty much the same as the cover stock for the booklets. Which is, we might be a little spoiled nowadays by our large bulletproof GM screens. But it would have been nice to have a thicker screen as well. But nevertheless, that seems a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. So that is the 1-inch box of the classic edition called Cthulhu Kickstarter Reward. For those of you who got that, here's your preview if you haven't gotten yours yet. Now we have the big 2-inch box. And I think Chaosium said that they hadn't done a 2-inch box game like since the early 80s. And I think that the only 2-inch box game I remember from them is RuneQuest 2nd edition. But it might be that their board games were in 2-inch boxes too. And I never owned any of those, even in the later Avalon Hill editions. All right, so Shrink Wrap Be Gone. We're going to take a look at the big boy. Now, this is not going to be exactly the same as the other one, and I'll show you why momentarily. So what's in this box, okay? So this is the same sheet as the other one, which does not tell you all of the additional stuff that's in here. So we got all the same stuff, though. We got the What's in the Box sheet. We've got a stack of character sheets, which I would recommend photocopying. We have the very same rule book and a little bit of paper schmutz there. Cover art, of course, by the late, great Gene Day, who did a lot of work. Best known nowadays probably for his work with Marvel Comics, but passed away tragically at the age of something like 31 or 33 in the early 80s, but he did a lot of work with Chaosium as well. And there is, in fact, a memorial to Gene Day somewhere in here. So again, the same rule book, the same source book for the 1920s, same set of dice. Dice all also look great, so that's cool. And we have the original 1st and 2nd edition supplements. Now, let's wait to look at the supplements because we're going to I want to go through all this stuff. So we have the same map. We have the same big size comparison fold-out thing. We have the same thin GM screen. There's that. Same character figures, 2 sheet, including the bonus sheet. But we also have this. So what this is a pack of single-sided props for the adventures that are included in the game. I don't know if it's complete, right? I don't know if like absolutely everything, because there's a lot of adventures in here, right? If we look at the adventure, I don't want to have spoilers, so I'm not going to do like complete flip throughs of any of this stuff. But we look at the rule book. We have 3 scenarios, and I can tell you from memory, I think at least one of these, the haunted house, I think was the original one. These are going to be short scenarios, right? In fact, the haunted house is only 3 pages. The Madman is only 2 pages. And the Brockford house is 4 pages. Presumably that's a different haunted house, haunted by a different entity. So there's 3 adventures right in the rule book. So those will be included in the 1-inch box as well. And then, huge stack of what I would estimate to be about 50 pages of handouts. I'll put those in the bottom of the box so they don't get mangled. And then we have, in fact, let's put everything in the bottom of the box so that I can have free reign to paw through the supplements, which are, these were, by the way, for their day, early 80s, really, really high quality products. So we first of all, and this is not the order they came out in, okay? I have that written down somewhere, but I think it's beyond the scope of this video to go through that. So first of all, we have the Cthulhu Companion. This is from, who knows when. They have like remastered, I'll use the term remastered since I don't know what the real word is for it. I got a little piece of schmutz on there. That's irritating. They've sort of remastered the cover arts, and they all look fantastic. Cover art here was by Chris Marinan. And here we have, I will go through the table of contents here. The Cthulhu mythos in Mesoamerican religion. Further notes on the Necronomicon. I think I had this supplement back in the day as well. Sourcebook editions, an article on prisons, rulebook editions, excerpts and prayers, which are like flavor things. And then you get into adventures. Paper Chase, Mystery of Loch Fane, The Rescue, The Secret of Castronegro, some of Lovecraft's poetry. And there's some amusing things, the Sanity Quiz, and it looks like the Strange High House on the Hill. I think that is another adventure as well. No, it isn't. It is a, cut it out and set it up little model. That's actually pretty neat. I totally would not do that, but you could photocopy it onto heavy cardstock if you wanted to. So next is Fragments of Fear, By the way, the original Cthulhu Companion is 64 pages, and it's all really nice. It all has this cover stock that feels really good, and the paper stock feels really good. The Fragments of Fear is 48 pages. Remember, we didn't have the internet, so one of these I think has some Q&A. Yeah, Call of Cthulhu questions in Fragments of Fear, plus ritual curses. There's an Innsmouth map, mythos comparative sizes on the ubiquity of Cthulhu. Lions and tigers and bears, which I think is monsters, and then 3 scenarios: the Underground Menace, New Mythos Deity. Well, 2 scenarios: New Mythos Deities, Races and Monsters, and Valley of the 4 Shrines. And I don't know what Nemesis is. Of course, if you have the modern game, it's a poem by Lovecraft. Okay, if you have the modern game, you probably have all of the mythos entities that are included in these early products, but they also have a product called Malleus Monstrorum, which is, I think not correct Latin probably, but is a big 2-volume slipcase set of mythos races, creatures, and mythos deities. We have the Asylum next. We have the Asylum and Other Tales. Okay, this was a super early product, I know, and again, they all look great. 72 pages, including a big map of Maine. This is a book of scenarios, which includes what looks like 7 scenarios: the Auction, the Madman, Black Devil Mountain, the Asylum, the Mauritania, and Gate from the Past. Although I don't know if Gate from the Past is a scenario because it's only 2 pages, and I don't want to spoil anything. So this piece of cover art is by Tom Sullivan, and it's a very nice cover as well. Like I said, all these got remastered. Now the other 2 books are actually campaigns rather than just adventures. They are a series of adventures that are intended to be played sequentially, and we have the classic Shadows of Yog-Sothoth and Trail of Tsathoggua. Tsathoggua, of course, was a Clark Ashton Smith invention, the Cthulhu mythos being somewhat more of a team effort than is often remembered. Remembering Gene Day, this is nice, actually. This is not in the PDF, by the way. I've just gone through the PDF looking for this. By Gene's brother. That's really cool. The box cover art was by Gene Day. And this is a really striking cover as well, by the way. I think it's fair to say, and I'm well aware of Dave Tramp here, that Gene Day was, maybe the finest artist working in gaming, not graphic designer, at around 1980. A truly great artist. So the cover here is, I'm looking for it. I don't see it here. So maybe it's here, maybe it's not. You point it out to me in the comments if I'm just being a dummy, which is possible. So this is a 3-part scenario: Trail of Tsathoggua, Curse of Tsathoggua, and the Haunted House, which is a different haunted house than the other haunted house. It's Cthulhu. There's a lot of haunted houses, and then at the end we've got a bunch of miscellaneous goodies as well. So. And then Shadows of Yog-Sothoth. Now, both of these have been reprinted before. Shadows of Yog-Sothoth, I think, was reprinted as Shadows of Yog-Sothoth. The Trail of Tsathoggua, I think, was reprinted as The Day of the Beast. Unless I'm mixing the 2 up, and I don't think I am. No, I'm not. Trail of Tsathoggua was reprinted as Day of the Beast, which I think is an expanded version, too. And this is a 64-page book. Shadows of Yog-Sothoth feels a little fatter. It is a 72-page book with a table of contents in the back. I'd rather have it in the back than not have it, right? Interesting image there. That's a black and white version of the cover, which again is very striking. All these covers are the original covers, and they all look great, right? Chaosium was known to have, maybe not the most amazing art as anybody in every product, but certainly this is not a product that you can say that about. All right, once again, I don't see a credit for the cover art. And this is 7 chapters plus 2 bonus scenarios. So it is reasonable to say that this, if you have never played Call of Cthulhu before, first of all, get to work. Secondly, if you picked up this Call of Cthulhu setting, ignoring 7th edition, which does have some mechanical differences, for clarity, this old stuff is easy to run in Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, which is the current edition, which does have some mechanical changes, but the changes are not very big. I think the amount of work involved is pretty minimal, and I think you'd really only need to make a few adjustments on the fly. There's no idea rolls in the new rules, for example. There's a few other changes like that. But these are completely compatible with the new edition if you want to run it with that. But if you somebody just said, here you go, here's your new RPG, here's Call of Cthulhu in the giant 2-inch box with 5 supplements, I'd estimate that you have a good year or two of material just in this box. There is a ton here. I don't know what, I think the Kickstarter price on this was $100. And was $50 for the 1-inch, and you could get it like for $125 if you got both of them. Like a smart person, I didn't. I waited till later and paid for it as an add-on. But that's neither here nor there. So what we got though is tiny quibbles aside. Really happy to finally add these to the Ardwulf's Lair library. Of course, I have later editions. I've got 2 later editions of the Call of Cthulhu rules, but I didn't have any of these early supplements. So for me, just to get those alone is almost worth the price of admission. And frankly, for 5 paperback supplements, I think you'd probably pay $100 now, and free box set as a bonus. So this has been a look through, paw through, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, of the new Kickstarter rewards for the Call of Cthulhu Classic Kickstarter. Much appreciated for watching. Please do thumbs up the video. Please help to support the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy gaming.